Hi there. Today I'll share my drawing of Freya with her Lynxes, battle swine, and golden necklace while unpacking her amazing story. Freya is a central figure in Norse mythology. She's revered as a goddess of love, beauty, fertility, war, and magic. Her many roles make her a powerful and multifaceted figure, rich with symbolism and story. So here we go. Freya is often depicted with her wild boar, Hildisvini, whose name means battle swine. The boar symbolized strength, courage, and protection. It's even said that Freya sometimes traveled in the form of Hildisvini, indicating Freya's deep connection to magic and transformation. Now let's talk about her chariot, famously pulled by two lynxes. In mythological texts, they're described as large cats, but many scholars and artists envision them as lynxes, those majestic wild cats with their tufted ears, keen eyes, and short tails. Lynxes symbolize mystery, perception, and independence, traits that align beautifully with Freya's magical and untamed nature. Her lynx-drawn chariot represents her grace, authority, and her ability to command both the natural and spiritual realms. Freya is also known for her necklace, Brísingamen, a stunning artifact forged by dwarves. This necklace represents desire and feminine power, serving as a reminder of Freya's ability to captivate and influence through her beauty and charm. Freya's role extended far beyond her beauty. She was a fierce warrior and leader, choosing half of the slain warriors to reside in her hall, Folkvanger, while the other half went to Odin in Valhalla. Finally, Freya was a master of Seor, a type of Norse magic associated with prophecy and shaping fate. This practice placed her in a unique position among the gods, bridging the realms of war, love, and destiny. Freya's command over magic represents the transformative power of feminine and intuition, which is as relevant today as it was in Viking times. Now, I've got a story that I'm going to share with you about Freya and the necklace, but first, I need to give you a little context about my relationship to the Norwegian myth. I grew up in a little town in southern Wisconsin named Stoughton, an English name, but a town steeped in Norwegian American culture. I learned about Norse gods and goddesses, but ironically, the stories I heard left out one big thing: the raw, untamed side of the mythology. The mythology that I learned was a sanitized version for children. I never got the sense that Norse gods and goddesses were sexually open or morally complex. It was probably innocent on the part of the people who shared, to make those stories palatable for our times. But I like digging into the old stuff. Freya was bold and unapologetic. And she once made a startling deal with 4 dwarves to obtain her legendary necklace, Brísingamen. The story can make you laugh, make you question power dynamics, or inspire you with her agency. So here it is, short and sweet. The story of Freya and the necklace. In the myth, Freya comes across the necklace in the workshop of 4 dwarves, Alfred, Dvalin, Burling, and Grer. She's immediately captivated by its beauty and desires it to be her own. The dwarves, aware of her power and allure, agree to give her the necklace, but only if she spends one night with each of them. Freya accepts the bargain, stays with the dwarves, and obtains the Brísingamen necklace. This story has endured into our age, and for me, it begs for some more reflection. Let's unpack the possible interpretations when looking through a 21st century lens. I'm going to start with sort of the safe version, myth as metaphor. In mythology, stories like this often operate on a symbolic rather than a literal level. Freya's obtaining of the Brísingamen necklace might represent a deeper theme, perhaps the union of the physical and spiritual realms, or the merging of divine femininity, Freya, with the primal earthly forces represented by the dwarves. The dwarves themselves are often portrayed as beings deeply connected to the earth and craftsmanship, and their creation of the Brísingamen could symbolize the forging of something precious from raw materials. Freya's willingness to bargain with them might symbolize the necessity of interplay between the different forces, beauty and labor, desire and creation. So that's a pretty good interpretation, I think, but there's other ways to look at this story. From a modern perspective, the story can also be a little troubling. Freya's role in this myth highlights the theme of women being valued for their beauty and sexuality, a pattern that's carried over into many aspects of culture over the centuries. The dwarves demand a transactional relationship where Freya's body is the currency, reflects a problematic dynamic that might perpetuate the objectification of women. By framing this story in terms of what Freya had to give to obtain something she wanted, the myth risks reinforcing the idea that a woman's worth lies in her ability to satisfy others. This perspective can provoke discomfort and raise questions about how stories like this have shaped culture and attitudes towards women and sexuality. Well, what do I think about that particular interpretation? I think that the story made me uncomfortable, and so I looked into that interpretation and shared it with you. Yeah, it made me uncomfortable. But I think there's another way to look at the story. There's always more than one way to look at a story, so let's go there. On the complete other hand, the story can also be viewed as one of Freya's autonomy and power. Freya doesn't act as a victim in this myth. She sees something she desires and she takes action to obtain it. Her choice to make the bargain, while unconventional by today's standards, can be seen as her asserting control over her own body and using her assets to achieve her goals. It's also worth noting that Freya is a goddess who owns her sexuality and doesn't shy away from it. Rather than framing her as a fallen or flawed heroine, this story could be interpreted as an example of Freya being true to herself, where she values her beauty and desire and the finer things in life, and she's willing to make bold choices to attain them. But I think it's important to remember that we're looking at this story in a different time, and it's completely out of context. The Norse culture did not have the hang-ups about sex and the judgment that we bring to it, or that I brought to the story. And so I'll own that. I did. I brought my 21st century analytical mind to this story. And I think that the Norse culture just didn't have the hang-ups or the judgment that I was able to bring to it. But I think that the Norse culture also was really good at helping us to understand the complexities of human relations and the tension between power, beauty, and desire. There was definitely some drama in this story. In this video, I haven't focused much on techniques or tricks to improve your drawing skills. Instead, I've been showing you how exciting it can be to research a subject that is the basis of your creation. I think research is one of the most important skills to add to your drawing toolbox. If you agree, or you enjoyed just listening to this story, please hit the like and subscribe to my channel. I'll bring you more. Thanks a lot. See you next time. You can find the resources for this story in the description.